The invitation came on cream-colored cardstock with embossed lettering. The Morrison Family Reunion, a celebration of excellence. Inside, a note in my sister Victoria's precise handwriting. Casual attendance only. Given the venue and guest list, we thought you'd be more comfortable sitting this one out. I sat in my Seattle home office, looking at the invitation while my computer displayed 3 different coding projects. Outside, Elliott Bay stretched gray and peaceful. I'd bought this house 2 years ago with cash from selling my 3rd startup. Victoria thought I was still doing computer stuff from my apartment. Victoria was 33, 2 years older than me, and had recently made junior partner at her corporate law firm. This represented her arrival into society's upper echelons. The family reunion, traditionally a casual backyard barbecue, had been transformed into a country club event. Victoria personally curated the guest list to include her firm's partners and family members who represented the family well. I didn't make the cut. My phone buzzed. My younger brother James, did you get uninvited? Victoria told Mom you wouldn't be comfortable with her law firm people. I was used to it. This wasn't the first exclusion since Victoria's promotion. When she made junior partner, she threw a celebration dinner and invited everyone except me. At our cousin's wedding, Victoria convinced the bride I'd feel out of place at the rehearsal dinner with all the professionals. Victoria's narrative was simple. I was the family underachiever. I dropped out of state college sophomore year. No impressive job title at a recognizable company. I worked from home on various tech projects. No husband, no country club membership. In Victoria's carefully constructed social world, I was an embarrassment to manage. What Victoria didn't know, I dropped out to launch my first software company, sold it for $8 million at 23, and had since founded and sold 2 more. I currently held advisory positions at 4 tech startups and consulted for companies trying to scale. Last year, my income was roughly 12 times what Victoria made as junior partner. I kept it quiet. Every time I'd tried sharing achievements, Victoria diminished them. Anyone can start a website, she'd said when I sold my first company. Real careers have structure and prestige. My parents, awed by Victoria's law degree, nodded along. It was easier to be underestimated than fight for recognition I'd never receive. What I didn't tell James. One of the startups I advised, legal tech company ClearPath, had just been acquired by a major corporation. The acquisition included partnership with Victoria's law firm to implement the technology. I was scheduled to present to the firm's partners next month about integrating AI-assisted contract review. Victoria had no idea I was connected to the project that would define her firm's next 5 years. The week before the reunion, the family group chat became insufferable. Victoria posted constant updates. The country club terrace photos, the catering menu, the custom cocktail she'd named the Morrison. Every post carefully tagged attendees, partners from her firm, their elegant spouses, acceptable family members. My mother wrote, "Victoria, this is so sophisticated. You've really elevated the family gathering." No one mentioned my absence. I was the person-shaped hole in family photos. Victoria posted a selfie with her firm's senior partner, Richard Westbrook, and his wife. Caption, "So grateful for mentors who believe in excellence and high standards. Can't wait for everyone to meet the people who've shaped my career." I recognized Richard immediately. He'd sent me 3 emails trying to schedule a call about the ClearPath acquisition, mentioning being extremely impressed with my work on the platform's development. I'd been too busy to respond. Now I opened my email and sent a reply. "Richard, I'll be in town next weekend. Happy to meet in person if you're available." His response came within an hour. "Hiya. I'm actually at a family event at Lakeshore Country Club on Saturday afternoon. Any chance you could stop by? I'd love to introduce you to some partners." This is exactly the kind of FaceTime that will make the transition smoother. The Lakeshore Country Club. Victoria's reunion venue. I typed, "That works for me. See you there." Saturday arrived with perfect weather. I dressed deliberately, tailored blazer, designer jeans, simple jewelry. I looked exactly like what I was. A successful tech entrepreneur comfortable in any setting. Victoria had posted the reunion hashtag, so I knew exactly where they'd be. I parked and walked through the club's elegant interior to the terrace. The reunion was in full swing. 60 people with cocktails, the Morrison family mixed with Victoria's professional contacts. Victoria was holding court with Richard Westbrook and two other partners, gesturing animatedly. I walked directly toward them. Victoria saw me when I was 10 feet away. Her expression cycled through confusion, shock, then anger. "Maya," she said sharply. "What are you doing here?" Richard turned. His face lit up. "Maya, you made it." He stepped forward, pulling me into the circle. "I'm so glad you could stop by. I was just telling Victoria and the team about the ClearPath acquisition." Victoria's smile froze. "Know each other?" "Know each other?" Richard laughed. "Maya's the architect behind the entire platform we just acquired. She's one of the key reasons we moved forward with the purchase. Her work in legal tech automation is revolutionary." He turned to the other partners. "David, Susan, this is Maya Morrison, the consultant I've been telling you about." David, silver-haired and distinguished, extended his hand. "The Maya Morrison? Richard's been raving about your presentation materials. Working with the firm?" Victoria's voice strangled. "Maya, you don't work in legal tech. You do computer stuff from home." Richard looked puzzled. "Maya founded 3 successful companies, Victoria. The most recent sale was one of the largest legal tech acquisitions this year." He glanced between us. "Wait, Morrison, are you two related?" "Sisters," I said simply. The silence was profound. Susan broke it, barely concealing delight. "Your sister? The sister you said couldn't attend because she wouldn't fit in with the professional crowd?" Victoria's face went crimson. "I didn't, that's not." "You specifically told me," David said, his tone cooling, "that your sister worked in low-level tech support and wouldn't be comfortable at this kind of event." My mother appeared, drawn by commotion. "Maya, what are you doing here?" "I invited Maya to discuss the ClearPath integration," Richard said, voice polite but cold. "I had no idea she was the sister Victoria described as not really in our league professionally." People gathered now, drawn by tension. My father appeared, James behind him. Other family members, firm partners. Everyone sensing drama. Victoria tried to recover. "This is a misunderstanding. Maya, I didn't know you were doing this kind of." "You never asked," I said quietly. "Every time I tried telling you about my work, you dismissed it as computer stuff or not a real career." "She doesn't need traditional credentials," Susan interrupted. "She owns companies. She creates technology that firms like ours depend on." Her expression toward Victoria was openly critical. "You told us this reunion was to meet your accomplished family. Yet you excluded your most accomplished family member." David shook his head. "Victoria, we've been grooming you for senior partner. A key part is judgment, recognizing talent even in unconventional packages. You've demonstrated remarkably poor judgment." My father found his voice. "Maya, you sold companies? You're a consultant." 3 companies, Dad. The first for $8 million when I was 23. I tried telling you. Multiple times. But Victoria made it clear my achievements weren't impressive without her kind of credentials. Richard's professional courtesy evaporated. "Victoria, we need a serious conversation about judgment and professional relationships. This raises significant concerns about your ability to evaluate talent." He turned to me. "Maya, I apologize for my associate's behavior. Would you continue our conversation somewhere more private?" "Of course." As we walked toward the conference room, I heard Victoria's desperate voice. "Richard, wait. This isn't what it looks like." "It's exactly what it looks like," Richard said without turning. "We'll discuss it Monday." My phone exploded on the drive home. Texts from my mother demanding we talk about this. Voicemails from my father asking when I'd become so successful. A rambling message from Victoria alternating between anger and panic, saying I'd sabotaged her and ruined everything. James sent, "That was amazing. Sorry it took this long for them to see you." The family group chat went silent for 2 days. Then my mother posted, "Family is complicated. We all need to communicate better." No apology. No acknowledgement. Victoria disappeared from social media. James told me the firm postponed her partnership considerations pending review of her professional judgment. My parents swung between pride they had no right to claim and bewilderment they'd missed everything. 3 months later, Victoria resigned. The partnership track wasn't postponed, it was eliminated. She took a position at a smaller firm, a significant step down. My parents sent a formal letter apologizing for not recognizing my achievements sooner. The letter was sincere but revealed profound misunderstanding. They thought the problem was not knowing about my success. They still didn't grasp the real problem was never valuing me enough to ask. I declined the next family reunion invitation. When my mother called asking why, I was honest, because you haven't actually changed. You're proud of me now because others validated me. You should have been proud because I'm your daughter regardless of what I achieved. She was quiet. That's fair, she finally said. I don't know if they'll ever understand what they did, not just excluding me from a party, but systematically undervaluing me for years because my success didn't look like Victoria's. What I know, I built a life that doesn't need their approval. When they finally saw it, it wasn't because I forced recognition. It was because I stopped hiding to make their dismissal easier. Some families celebrate your success from the beginning. Others only celebrate once it's too successful to ignore. I'd learned to tell the difference. And I'd learned that sometimes, the best thing you can do is stop attending gatherings where you're seen as less than you are, even if they're called family reunions.